All right, so we're talking about that demonstration yesterday that ended violently, but we're also talking about, do we need a new voters register? The EC says, yes, make your case, bring it forward, and they've given a deadline to that. That time is not up yet, but we saw some members going out onto the streets yesterday and reportedly going off the routes that had been agreed. The CPP also wants a new register also. Is that what they're looking for? I've got the CPP Deputy Communications Director joining me. Yao Asani Tano is my guest right now. We'll be speaking to the police as well on the phone on events of yesterday. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you are not part of this demonstration.
Well, I don't think any member of the Convention People's Party will be part.
Okay.
Because like you rightly said, we are supposed to go for IPAC meeting, and the deadline is not yet, ready. But a certain group of people have decided to hit the street. Of course, we believe in having the voters register changed, but that does not also mean that if it is changed, everything will be 100%. But the call for change is indeed imminent. We never thought that people would decide to hit the street when they are supposed to be part of the process leading to whatever it is sanity that we want to bring into our body politics. So, but
this was not a political party. This was a group of individuals who believed in a certain cause.
That has been the perception, but that is not the case. We have known CJA for a very long time. We have known AFAC for a very long time. And so if anybody sits back and try to deceive his or herself that this is not a political grouping, then I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I saw our logo, the Convention People's Party's logo, on the banner of the AFAC demonstration. And I feel that it is very wrong. Nobody authorized them to put our logo there. Of course, they can shop for it on the net and put it there, but it isn't right. The party hierarchy have not authorized anybody to put our logo on it. We share the same views.
And you know for sure that no CPP member was part of it?
I doubt it.
Of it as
Any
well.
CPP member who will be part of it might have been one of the stooges who either speak for NDC or NPP. So
you've got stooges in your party?
Of course, in every party we have stooges, those who allow themselves to be used by the other divide. And that has been the problem with the Convention People's Party. That is what has dissipated the party's human capital and capacity.
Who are some of these people?
Well, I think as a media person, you know better than me. We have had them in NPP, we have had them in NDC. Indeed, the NDC is made up of Convention People's Party members, those who are not the true Nkrumahist. And for that matter, when you talk of the NDC, we have a lot of those.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you, because I didn't know. You say I know better than you, but I don't.
I'm sure you know.
Not on this matter.
I'm sure you know.
So if you start giving me names, then maybe I'll be thinking twice about those persons.
You see, as a politician, I wouldn't be sitting here mentioning names, but that is the reality.
But why do you still have them in the party then?
I mean, those that we have in the party, that is why we are going for Congress from 18th to 20th and get rid of them. We knew of people who came to, take positions, and we were thinking that they were indeed coming to work for the party. Unfortunately, behind closed doors, what they do with NDC is appalling. And we also know of people who, as we speak, clearly speak not for the Convention People's Party, but for the NPP. And so it's a worrying situation that we intend, the youth in the CPP now, intend to fight. And that battle will start from the 18th to the 20th of this month in Sunyane. And then we also want to ensure that we elect a flag bearer that have the party at heart, not those people who would seek to, as it were, sell the party for their own parochial interests. We serve Ghana and not individuals.
Amazing. Joining us on phone right now is Mame Efua Akoto. She's spokesperson for Let My Votes Count, that group that organized that demonstration yesterday. Hello, Mame Efua, if you can hear me, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and good morning. And good morning to our viewers. It's unfortunate I couldn't join you in the studio. It wouldn't repeat itself. I heard a gentleman speak. I don't know the name. Good morning as well.
Yeah, that's Yao Asani Tano. He's a Deputy Communications Director of the CPP. But, Mami, were you part of that demonstration yesterday yourself?
Yes, my dear.
Okay.
Yesterday we told Ghanaians and we notified the police that we will be going for a demonstration, peaceful demonstration of such. And yes, I was there. But let me just correct something briefly. I heard the gentleman, and I'm surprised he said he is the Deputy Communication Director of the CPP. It's amazing. He himself is not even aware, as a Deputy Communications Director, that the chairman, Samia Yaba Nkrumah, unless he's telling me he's also a stooge, was in support of a new voters register. For him to speak like this,
he has not denied that.
No,
they are in support of a new register.
Just give me a moment. I'm coming to a point.
Sure.
You would not sit back and then say that if the CPP is in alliance with what the other opposition parties are saying, what stops any grouping to also show to the public that these are the voices that are asking for a new register? For Christ's sake, we did not go as a political party, but we are a pressure group. So for a gentleman who is a spokesperson for a party like CPP to speak this way, I'm quite disappointed. But let's go on the real issues that transpired yesterday.
Mami, you went off the agreed course yesterday. We understand.
Nobody did. Nobody did, my dear. Nobody did. And even assuming without, any doubt that we went on a route course that was not the agreed route course, whatever the police did, I don't know if you have a video footage of what transpired. Ask yourself if any human being in this country deserves such barbaric treatment from the police. My dear, we did not use any route that was not what the police sanctioned. Moreover, the police were those leading most of the demonstrators on the approved route. Definitely, with such a crowd, we had a lot of people coming all over, from the other regions all over just to support this cause. And it was not a political group, and I say.
Is it true that leadership were not really in charge of what was happening yesterday?
My dear, the leadership, we were in charge. And don't forget, I told you earlier on that the police were those even leading the demonstrators. They were those leading the demonstrators. And definitely you get people who were behind, not getting the command properly. And with such a crowd, the leadership would, as we walk on, some were left behind, some were in front. So we really lost, touch with the total crowd because it was a huge crowd. But the police were sideways with us. They were in front of us and they were behind us. What would have stopped the police to really...
Hello, Mami?
Order? Yes, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you briefly there. You said...
I was asking that what stopped the police? When we were on our way, we had the police behind us, we had some in front of us, we had some sideways. What stopped the police from guiding the people than treating the people like they did yesterday? It was a sad day, it was a shameful day for Ghana. For this to even appear on BBC and all the other international media platforms, it should tell the president that he has really embarrassed the state.
Mami, I had an argument. This is exactly what you wanted. This is the picture you wanted to paint the entire world. So more like you were daring the police.
My dear, nobody, let's assume that the people, yes, we decided to present a petition to the EC chair lady, Madam Charlotte, assuming we decided to dare the police to go through the unapproved route. So should 8 policemen be seen assaulting a woman? My dear, which law in this country tells the police that, I mean, for any unauthorized route one uses, get about 10 of your men to assault and brutally abuse the person? Which law in this country states that? Let's assuming the worst the police could have done was just at least arrange, I mean, not to touch anybody, allow them to go, and then at the end of the day, I mean, get those, I mean, we the leaders of the demonstration to appear before court.
Mommy, were you able to...
What did Gabia Sariochedaku do? He was not part of those who they claim was on unapproved route. The police picked him up, and then in their own office, used a whip, baton, to just beat him up.
So what's
in their office, was that also an approved route? So,
Mommy, what's the official position of the group? What's your interpretation of what happened yesterday?
We had a meeting. I mean, I thank God most of our people are responding to treatment, and we know that definitely we will all get out of this, I mean, shameful thing that happened yesterday. We are going for a press conference today, and we will put our final decision out.
Are you taking the police on?
I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag. But trust me, Yakubu Rosa Tingabio, the woman stood in front of one of the MPs, I think, Honorable Henry Corte, and told him, to hell you, are you better than the president? These are people who are retirees. They are retirees. Yakubu was supposed to be retired 2011.
Mommy, are you saying...
barbaric act,
Mommy,
he is still in the force.
Mommy, are you saying that if somebody went offline, if somebody didn't do what was right and the police was pulling that person back in order,
so
because the person is a politician...
You use live bullets, you use batons, you use whips. I mean, you fight 8 policemen fighting a woman. For Christ's sake, you go enjoy online and see how people were treated.
How many people were injured,
There was this old woman, and she's in 37 hospital as speak. They poured hot water. The woman is totally bruised.
So, Mommy, how many people belonging to the group got injured yesterday?
In a rough estimate, I could from 37 Police Hospital, Ridge Hospital, I can say about 30 to 40 thereabout.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it here and then look out for that press conference. You say later today?
Yes, definitely. We're going to have a press conference and we'll put our final decision out.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Mami Fuakoto, spokesperson for Let My Vote Count. You've been itching to say something.
I'm surprised at her. I mean, possibly she wasn't watching. I have not said that we are not in support of the change of the voters register.
You're just not in support of the action,
the medium,
you know, what they took.
Yeah, they have their right to demonstrate. Of course, I will not sit here and sanction the fact that people have been beaten up. I mean, in the 21st century, when people have to seek their right, we do not have to meet this kind of meet them with this kind of beatings and other things. I would not support that. But I'm saying that from what they have done, it appears that they want to take themselves out of the IPAC meeting, which indeed very soon in about.
But this is not a political party.
You see, people should not deceive themselves into that. We saw late President Mills and ex-President Rawlings joining CJA.
Yeah, but it didn't make CJA an NDC party.
It was the same. That is what the NPP said at the time. Now, when they also had the opportunity to form this AFAC. Have you seen any other groupings coming from?
But AFAC is still a pressure group, another political party.
Don't look at it that way. You are very
I'm looking at what is on paper.
You see, these are the groupings that we are going to use to foment trouble in this country.
So how do you intend telling your story to the EC then?
We, for instance, when we wanted to seek for the return of our asset, what did we do? We did a picket that circle. It is another medium of ensuring, no matter what you do, your message will be carried across.
Are you writing a formal petition to the EC for a new voters register? Would we see the CPP do that?
We have already, alerted the EC on this tangent with regards to the voters register.
But I'm talking about formal communication.
Formal communication has been done. to the EC. Of course, they have also listened to us, and this is why we are all supposed to meet. I'm not saying they should not go on demonstration, but what we are saying is that we should find an amicable solution. Indeed, if we had gone for the IPAC meeting and the outcome was a different thing that we all do not accept, then of course everybody will understand.
But I'm asking, is the CPP presenting a petition on this to the EC?
Sure.
When?
Sure. We have already done that. We have already done that. Our communications director has written to the EC as per our support with regards to the change. You remember in 2012, after the 2012 election, we were the first party to state that the voters register was flawed, and the fact that the election was rigged, especially when we lost the Jomoro seat. When we said that people were barred from across the borders to come and vote, we became a ridicule within the media circles. And people were asking, if that is the case, why don't you take it to court? Of course, we believed that we did not win the entire election. We lost a seat, and we thought that we should have won that seat. And we saw what went on. When we said it, did the media carry it out?
So why do you need a new voters register?
Come again?
Why do you need a new voters register? Are your reasons the same as that of the NPP?
Exactly. Don't even forget that before the 2012 election, when most of the registered parts were shown, we saw minors. You could see their face that these are minors, and we all wanted a change. But it happened that the EC at the time did not, succumb to the pressure that we put on them. And it is this two.
So yours is mainly because you suspect there are minors on the register.
Not just minors.
Are the foreigners?
Yes, this has been a phenomenon. It's not a new thing. People voting across borders. It's not a new thing at all. It's been happening both in NPP's era, when the EC was there, in NDC era, when the EC was there. So these two parties...
So would the cure be a new voters register? Because if people are voting across, what are the chances that they will not come and register again?
The cure will actually be an e-voting, where proper identification with regards to getting one ID card for Ghanaians, the national ID card. When we have that, and even that, we will not have 100% e-voting system. Looking at the kind of situation we find ourselves, we are not a united continent, and for that matter, you have one or two people speaking the same language across the borders. The Eves speaking pure Ewe from Togo, speaking pure Ewe, and some of them can speak actually Twi and other languages. So it will be a little bit of a problem for us. But when it is e-voting, I think that will be minimized. And don't forget that we started with these opaque boxes and all that. So we have come far. So we are seeking for another paradigm shift where we move a step forward. And we all support the fact that something should be done to this voters register. In terms of its change, we have a new one, and then we move on. If everybody accepts, and then we know that this is the new voters register, yes, then we move with it. But even that, I know there will be problems. So
we will not see. So what's the pressure group within the CPP then? Because you've linked at least two of them to two different parties. What's yours?
We have not formed a pressure group. We have not. If we have a redress to, we have any case to seek redress, we do the right thing by, issuing a statement or to picket.
Okay.
Because these are two parties, NPP and NDC. Indeed, I saw the clip that you showed right now, the documentary on Rwanda, from genocide to development. In the case of Ghana, it has been development to underdevelopment. And which people brought about this? It is this NPP and NDC. Their inability to sit down through the appropriate means to discuss issues, but want to push through everything with all the force and the intent that serves their interest. This is what we are against.
What does the CPP make of what happened yesterday? Is it justifiable, the way the police tried to control the crowd?
I will not sit here and say it is justifiable. It was unfair. People like Gabi, Ochredakun and co would not, as it were, let me quote unquote, misbehave whilst they know that they are demonstrating, they are exercising their right. So the beatings, and I'm even surprised that people had to be beaten to that extent. And I heard live bullet. I'm not aware, but we have heard. And you could have best the water, canoe and whatever it is would have been better, minimum force. But to beat people in this 21st century, it's a serious dent on our democratic dispensation, especially at this time. And we would want to urge the police to be very circumspect in discharging their duties when it comes to politicking within this country. Otherwise, the public is tempted to say that they belong to this side of the political divide. And indeed, when the NPP was in power, it was the same thing NDC was saying, that the police belonged to, the NDC, the NPP. So these are the games that both parties has played up to this time. And it is important that we have a change. Can you imagine when NPP and NDC are in opposition? The country will be a smooth, environment to live in. Yeah. Discussion on radio and television will be so interesting. Will be so interesting. We have to get rid of them.
Thank you so much for your time. That's Yao Asane Tano, the CPP Deputy Communications Director. I must say that ASP Efiatenge, the Accra Regional Police PRO, had agreed to speak to us, but we couldn't get through to her this morning. That's why we didn't bring the police angle to you. Stay with us. We'll watch out for that CPP conference to get rid of, as he terms, the stooges out of the party. Very interesting. We've got Adik Hoka and the Honorable Obi Amwa joining us on AM Talk with Roland Walker. So please do stay with us.